Hello and welcome inside Yost Ice Arena for another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan hockey. I'm Alex Strain, joined by Charlie Goodwin tonight for the game series between Michigan and St. Lawrence. The Wolverines won last night by a score of 3-0, just about 30 seconds to puck drop. What are you looking for?
I think this Wolverines team is still finding their footing. They're highly ranked at the beginning of the season, number 4. They're now standing at a record of 1-2, and I think they're still looking to regain some of their confidence that ranked them so high at the beginning of the season.
Well, last night Michigan played probably their most complete game of the season in a 3-0 shutout of the Saints. They've been having really a lot of trouble defending this year, but finally played a complete game, a lot of good, strong effort, and only allowed, I believe, 15 shots to the Saints last night. So Michigan will look to continue that as we're about to get the opening puck drop between Norris and the second-line centerman, Laidley, for the Saints, and we are now underway from Yost. Puck goes down behind the St. Lawrence goal where the netminder, who is Arthur Bray, yet again had a fine night last night, touches it to his defense. Michigan had a very successful power play last night. We'll look to keep that going here in this contest as the Saints control and try to bring it out of their own end. Michigan's had some slow starts early this season. They fell behind 2-0 to Vermont, ended up dropping in that game, but it was important to get that early first goal last night, coming just about 3 minutes into the contest.
I think that's certainly been a problem for this Michigan hockey team so far. Falling behind by a couple goals early in games and forcing themselves to have to come back.
We now have an icing against Michigan. Faceoff will come down in the Wolverines' end just about a minute into the game.
And history is on the Wolverines' side as they've won the last 10 meetings with St. Lawrence and they have an 8-0 record here at Yost. So they look to continue that streak tonight.
This is the second straight year these two teams have played. They met last year up in New York, and the Wolverines won that one. So they're on a bit of a good streak. Have some decent familiarity as the Wolverines win the draw, but can't yet clear it out, trying to dig it from the corner. Finally attempting to bring it out, but that just goes all the way back down. It'll be yet another icing on the Wolverines.
I think if Michigan wants to be successful in this game, they really have to work on getting the puck out of the zone and not letting St. Lawrence stay in their zone even after they've won the faceoff.
So, faceoff now comes to the right of Hayden Levine, and Pastuov is able to win that draw, sort of, and then St. Lawrence quickly pounced on it. Comes down behind the net. Nick Blankenberg touched it. He's out there on defense tonight after getting a night off last night. A high-rising shot from Jack Becker is held by Bray.
That's now 2 face-offs in a row where the Wolverines have won, but St. Lawrence has quickly taken the puck back. That can't continue to happen throughout this game if the Wolverines want to come out victorious.
Draw one by the Wolverines in the offensive end. They have it at the point. Martin sends a shot wide, but Bray gets his glove on it.
It's definitely important for this Michigan hockey team to keep the pressure on offense and just keep firing shots at the St. Lawrence goaltender.
Luke Morgan wins the faceoff for the Wolverines. Luke Martin takes a shot from the point, tipped in front of the net, and now it comes out into the neutral zone. Saints are away. They're wearing their away red jerseys. Michigan wearing the home whites after wearing the maize last night. They're back in the usual white sweaters. Brendan Warren chases in after it up against the boards. Dylan Wolf, the defenseman and an assistant captain. He had 3 penalties last night, did Wolf. It was a rough game for him, 2 of which Michigan had very productive power plays. Now a chance out in front, a quick shot by St. Lawrence, and we're going to have a whistle. I think we have goaltender interference perhaps coming in front of the net with Garvey, because that drive was immediately blown dead.
Even though there was goaltender interference on the play, that was a great heads-up defensive play by Jack Summers, quickly getting that puck away from Hayden Levine, which could have easily been put back in by St. Lawrence for a goal.
So now face off between Gleekle and Garrett Van Wy. Van Wy is the fourth line center, freshman for the Wolverines, anchoring the checking line. Now goes up against the boards and then finally brought back out. Jack Randall touched it, freshman now playing tonight. Now here's a quick shot from Van Wy, looking for Olmstead perhaps on the center, but unable to find him. It'll be held onto by Bray.
Yeah, the Michigan Wolverines definitely put some shots on Arthur Bray early in this game, but none of them have really been that challenging of a save to make. Bray's a pretty solid goaltender. You're gonna have to really put it in a good spot if you want to get it past Arthur Bray.
The draw is scooped out by the Saints, and they're able to clear it out of their own end. The story of last night's game was just total domination in every facet by the Wolverines. They outshot St. Lawrence. I believe it was 41-15 was the final total in a 3-0 victory. Michigan was not nearly as aggressive as they'd been in previous games, but they were okay with that. Much more solid defensively, as now we have a face-off coming outside the Michigan end, right in front of the blue line.
And I think we're seeing a little bit more of that aggressiveness that was missing last night from these Wolverines so far.
So draw possessed by Michigan. Will Lockwood hands it off to Slaker, and he comes into the offensive end. Slaker, Lockwood, Norris, the top line for the Wolverines. They were successful last night in having offensive success. Slaker scored the first goal, and then Norris tapped in the third and final one for Michigan. They definitely drive the possession. Here comes Quinn Hughes skating through the middle. Everybody knows his smooth skating potentially. He's been trying to do a little too much this season, and he was a lot more relaxed last night. He's here a potential opportunity for St. Lawrence as they skate fiery into the Michigan end, but unable to catch up with a strong stretch pass. Now a shot by Bo Hansen from the point, tipped in front of the net. Hughes scoops it up and tries to get it out for the Wolverines.
That was a dangerous opportunity for the Saints right there.
Shot blocked down in front of the net. Now another try. That one just goes wide. Some successful screens out in front created by David Jankowski, who's been moved up to the top line center after centering the second line last night. Norris skates out with it. He'll just chip it off the boards and let his side get a change. Down deep on the forecheck is Michael Pastuov, who is on that second line with his brother and Jack Becker. Now out they come.
St. Lawrence is definitely putting this good screen in front of Hayden Levine. He had no idea where that last shot was.
Southers controls in the offensive end, and now Blankenberg is able to get it out for a second. Tried to have an offensive opportunity. Pastuov skates in with it, but it's blown off sides.
They're offsides by just a hair there. If move his skate back an inch, and the Wolverines are breaking away. Maybe this game's 1-0. And back to your point about Quinn Hughes. Hughes has definitely been trying to do way too much this season. He was drafted 7th overall in the NHL draft. Very, very highly touted prospect, and I think he just needs to stick to his guns and stop trying to maybe prove himself.
Right off the face-off, Nick Boca sends it across to his pair, Nick Blankenberg. It's Griffin Luce who is scratched tonight. Boca and Luce have been playing together since last season, but tonight Boca's out there with the freshman, and now a shot is in front of the net. It's loose, and Bray is able to put his glove down on it. Jimmy Lambert was posting up in front of the net. He got wrestled down to the ground, and the puck was exposed, but Bray put the trapper on it.
That was a great opportunity for the Wolverines. So they're best of the game by far so far, and they're gonna have to keep putting those shots on Arthur Bray. Eventually, they're gonna break through.
They gave him a full night's work last night, and he was pretty good. He kept the Saints in that hockey game. He's going to have to do the same again here today if St. Lawrence can't generate some consistent possession. Michael Pastuov gives it to his brother Nick, looking for Jack Becker in the slot. It got tipped off a defenseman, but then held in by Luke Martin at the point, who gives it back to the older Pastuov down on the boards. Becker, along with Michael Pastuov down below, all trying to dig it out. Now Nick's got it. Press up against the boards. He gets pushed down. A lot of physicality in that corner. Now the puck squirts through the middle of the ice and then into the other corner, but held in at the line there. Nice job by Jack Summers to hold the blue line. And they continue to go back down into that right corner to the side of Arthur Bray. Now it skips across, picked up, and finally cleared out by Carson Dimoff. He was not in the lineup last night. but out there today for the Saints. Held behind the net by Hansen. Flips it up into the air. Bounces off the big block M, and that's where Quinn Hughes picks it up. He's going to try to create an opportunity. Pass across for Will Lockwood. In on sides, but not able to quite collect, and he has to just give it back to Joe Ciccone, who finds Baker on the left side. He's going to dangle around to Saint, try a wraparound opportunity, but it skipped off his stick, so he just sends it up to Ciccone, who gets it across to Quinn Hughes. He skates down with it, puts it in front, they score! Quinn Hughes took the shot. It looks like Slaker tipped it, and Michigan takes a 1-0 lead.
That was a great example of offense by the Wolverines. They threw it in near Bray, and they just got the stick on it to tip it in. Textbook hockey.
Put it on net, and you see sometimes what can happen, and that one put in the back of the net, just in front of the net. There, looks like Josh Norris is going to get credit for the goal. Him and Slaker were both in front, but Norris is the one who redirected it right in front of the crease through the legs of Arthur Bray. And just like last night, Michigan takes an early 1-0 lead within the first 6 minutes. That goal coming at 5:52 of the first period. And now we have a quick icing on St. Lawrence.
And that's another thing that makes Quinn Hughes so valuable. Not only his defensive skills that are very apparent, but also his ability to create opportunities on the other side of the ice.
Hughes is not known for his slap shot. It's his skating ability that gets him the marks, but sometimes when you put it on net, things will happen. Shots 5-2 in favor of the Wolverines, and they win that draw. Blankenberg goes down with the puck and then dumps it back. A shot taken quick in front of the net. Olmstead an opportunity, but he got shouldered off well by a St. Lawrence defender. Boca drops it deep for Van Wy, and they continue to dig there along the boards. Cameron White, the defenseman, who's trying to dig it out. Now he's got the puck, but Van Wy stops him from getting it out. Randall picks it up on the left point, tries to skate down with it. Now he picks it back up. He's got Van Wy in front if he can find him, and he could not. Nice takeaway by the Saints. They get just across center and intercepted. Olmstead was trying to find his centerman Van Wy, but he goes too far for him all the way back down, and we have an icing.
It looks as if the Wolverines have, in fact, increased their aggressiveness and intensity since scoring that first goal. They seem much more eager to keep the puck in, St. Lawrence's zone.
So face-off will come to the side of Levine, to his right. It'll be Southers against Van Wy. Michigan needs to get their fourth line off. Boca grabs it after Van Wy wins it. Tries to pass it up and find a man. Now they hit Van Wy on the other side. He's got it on the right. Tries to center it, looking for Olmstead, who tips it. And it's held in down low by Brendan Warren. He's the lone forechecker as the rest of the fourth line tries to get off. Luke Morgan comes onto the ice, and now finally they get their other attacker, Jimmy Lambert, out there. Keenan Southers leads the rush for St. Lawrence, and he just dumps it down into the zone. Jack Summers tries to dig it free. It's along the boards, and now sent back in the other direction. Scooped up by Luke Martin. Across to Summers. Warren smacks it along the boards, and it rims all the way down behind Bray. Morgan right there. All trying to dig it. Now the puck comes free in front of the net. An opportunity. Jimmy Lambert turns and shoots. It goes high and redirects over top. No one there to scoop up the rebound. He's just stepping right back down to get his own rebound was Lambert, but then had his pocket picked, and out come the Saints the other direction. Down the right wing boards. Trying to make a play towards the middle was Dimoff. He was shouldered off well by Michigan, and now they try to clear it down. They say it went into the bench, and so I think the whistle blew. They keep playing, though. It goes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened on that.
And now puck in front of the net.
Definitely stopped.
Yeah, it was very strange, but the play continues. Michigan with a good opportunity there created by the Pastuov brothers in front of the net, and now St. Lawrence comes out the other direction. Ciccone scoops it up. He'll find Becker just across the midline, then past the blue line. He waits, turns, takes the shot, missed it. And then Ciccone pinches down. Pastuov centers it to the middle. Becker puts a shot high, and it hits the shoulder of Bray and then dribbles through the blue paint, but does not find a home in the back of the net. Becker pushes it down for Pastuov. Michigan continuing to really aggressively forecheck. Ciccone pinches it down.
Yeah, St. Lawrence has really not had much time in Michigan's zone since the early minutes of the game. It's been all Michigan on offense so far.
Wolverines driving possession, and Pastuov takes a shot going over top. That was Michael from the left point. Now to Nick down below. Becker with a chance in front. That one gets redirected out in front. Digging it out of the corner is Michael Pastuov. Finds Hughes. Hughes skates down with it. He's going to curl. Try a wraparound. But a nice job by Bray to get there, and he puts his trapper down, and we have a whistle at 10:45.
It was a great move by Quinn Hughes, just a tad slow, and Bray was able to get there to block it with the pad.
So extended timeout, trying to explain what happened on that previous play. The puck had redirected sort of right in front of the Michigan bench, and the referee on the far side blew his whistle as to blow the play dead, but the referee on the opposite side of the play did not blow his whistle and let the play continue. So the one referee closest to us was overruled. Odd situation.
What have you liked that you've seen from this Michigan team so far, Alex?
Well, it's a lot of the same stuff that was successful last night. When Michigan, beats a team as thoroughly as they did last night, you just want to do the same thing, and they are doing the same things they did last night. They're not ceding the high percentage chances that they did in their first few games. When Michigan was giving up a ton of goals to Vermont and Western Michigan, they were giving up a lot of high percentage looks. So far, about halfway into the first period, only 2 shots for St. Lawrence. Swarming aggression from the Wolverines, and it's going to be the top line out there. Norris wins the draw, trying to pinch up to keep it in was Blankenberg, and now we've got a potential 2-on-1 the other way for St. Lawrence. Centers, and a shot attempt goes right through the stick, and nothing comes for the Saints. It was a dangerous attempt by Blankenberg to pinch up and try to keep the puck in the zone. Was not able to do so, and it created really the first decent look for St. Lawrence all game. They've had a couple through traffic, but otherwise not a whole lot doing, and now Michigan finally does dig it out. Lockwood tips it along the boards. He's going to use his speed to fly down the right side. He's got 2 attackers in front, his line mates if he can find them. But he cannot, and the puck is taken out. And that top line, McGean and Jankowski just dump it deep. Both teams looking to get their first lines off when they can. St. Lawrence does just that, and they take off their foot off the gas from the attack. And skating around with it is Nick Boca. He finds Blankenberg. Blankenberg's pass for Randall is intercepted. Now an opportunity for Garvey, but a great play by Nick Boca to get his stick down there, and then a shot from the point by Hansen. Deflected up high and over top the net. Now it's in the corner. McIntyre sends it along the boards looking for Southers. To the point, Hansen in trouble, so he just banked it off the boards, and picking it back up is McIntyre. Looking deep for Southers. And down there is Van Wy. Randall banks it off the boards, trying to get it out. They can't quite do it yet. And St. Lawrence doing a good job of keeping it in the offensive zone. A shot goes wide of the net and then rims all the way back down. So Michigan will finally get the change that they had been looking for. Saints recollect in their own end. Look for a long stretch pass, and it's intercepted in the neutral zone by Luke Morgan. He tries to skate around the St. Lawrence defender, Alfberg, who just quickly applies a firm check and shuts down any Michigan chances, though they continue a very aggressive forecheck, trying to capitalize off turnovers as Garvey sends it around, and then there's an opportunity for Summers, who pinches down. St. Lawrence is content to just get it out of their own zone and let their defensemen get off. Michigan trying to find Jimmy Lambert up front. He taps the long stretch pass, so no icing, and a giveaway behind their own net by the Saints. And Lambert trying to help dig it out. Now Morgan does. Morgan holds with it, and then that pass goes all the way back down.
And that last series of events was really the first elongated attack by St. Lawrence we've seen all game. Michigan's done a good job of keeping them out of their offensive zone.
Looks like a delayed penalty coming to St. Lawrence. The referee's got his arm in the air, and Levine had been on his way to the bench, and the whistle blows. So Michigan's power play will get to go to work. They were 2 for 5 last night. They were 25% entering this weekend series. It's been a big turn of events, because last year Michigan's power play was pretty mediocre. This year it's been an asset. We'll see if they can convert here after the timeout.
Yeah, the power play is essential for this Michigan team. You really need to capitalize on those opportunities that are given to you, and if you don't, it's hard to win games.
It's going to be Cameron White in the box. Yet another defenseman committing penalties. That was a problem St. Lawrence had last night. Having trouble with discipline in this series. Michigan took just one penalty last night compared to the, I believe, 5 that St. Lawrence took. As both teams are at their benches in the media timeout. It'll be a 2-minute penalty. Well, the call is holding on White.
As you said, Michigan is 6 for 24 on the power play this year. Conversion percent of .250, so they're going to look to up that on this power play, for sure.
St. Lawrence breaks from their bench and they go on the attack. We have a correction to make. Strauss Mand is the netminder tonight for the Wolverines, not Hayden Levine. They wear number 30 and 31, which makes it a little tough to differentiate them. But Mann is the netminder. That's his second start for the season. Levine started last night, so Michigan giving both goalies some opportunities. And now off the face-off, Norris wins it, and the penalty begins. Hughes has got it. He leaves it behind for Ciccone. Ciccone skates to his left and then hands it off to Hughes to his right. Hughes and Ciccone play catch. And now the captain skates down with it, senior defenseman from upstate New York. Gives it to Norris, plays it off the boards for Lockwood, who's on the right boards. Hughes across to Norris, down low for Slaker. Slaker curls with it, gives it to Norris, his shot off the pad of Bray. Ciccone pinches down to try and hold it in, and then St. Lawrence able to get to it and clear it on down. 1:20 to go in the power play. Mann comes out to touch the puck. Hughes skates around with it. He gives it off to Norris. Norris across the blue line quickly gives it off to Slaker. Slaker's going to try a potential wraparound. He skates quickly right around the cage. Gives it to Ciccone at the top. He finds Hughes. Hughes takes a shot. He scores! I think that one will be credited to Hughes. Slaker the screen in front, but it looked like a clean shot, and Michigan takes a 2-0 lead.
That was an absolute snipe from Quinn Hughes from the top of the zone. I mean, Bray had no chance to stop that one.
Slaker standing in front gives the perfect screen, and Hughes, the seeing eye shot, goes right past Bray. That'd be Hughes' second goal of the season.
And his second point of the game.
Pastuov wins that draw at center ice. We'll wait for the official word. We expect it to be a Hughes goal. Martin in his own end tries to skate out with it. Michigan has quickly pounced on the Saints and taken a 2-0 lead in this one. And a quick shot blocked aside by Strauss Mann, the freshman from Greenwich, Connecticut. Now an opportunity out in front for the Saints, and a shot! One opportunity and then a potential rebound pushed aside. That was really the first good look. David Jankowski and Carson Gesevich on the shot.
That was a great opportunity for the St. Lawrence Saints, and an even better play by Strauss Mann to stop not only the initial shot, but the rebound for the Saints.
We just got the official word. It is Quinn Hughes on the goal, assists by Ciccone and Norris. So face-off comes 6:20 remaining in period number 1. Draw is won there by the Wolverines, trying to get it on out of their own zone, and they do before St. Lawrence holds the blue line and pushes it back in. The defense corps is going to try and recollect. Nick Pastuov gives it off to his brother, then Becker brings it on inside. Becker pushes it down low. Nick to Michael. Takes a bad angle shot. Goes off the shoulder of Bray, and now out come the Saints the other direction. Boca has to get back, and he does an excellent back check and then takes the puck away from Carson Nimhoff. A fine play there by the senior from Plymouth, Michigan. Boca pressed up against the boards and finds Becker who was also pressed up against the boards by Hansen, and then Cusinato picks it up. He takes a shot that is deflected off a Michigan stick high up into the air. We got a hand pass called on Michigan. So the faceoff will be in the Wolverine end.
Yeah, Nick Blankenberg just kind of slapped at that puck, passing it to one of his teammates, and that's obviously not allowed in the game of hockey.
Shots 10-2 in favor in the offensive end. We'll see if the Saints can finally generate some offensive pressure. A shot from the point by Wolf is blocked aside, and now a race for the puck down in the St. Lawrence end. Luke Morgan is in after it. Icing waved off anyway. He's not able to win the foot race, but he's able to get there enough to create a potential opportunity for Michigan. But the Saints are able to adjust well and bring it back out so that Ciccone is forced to scoop it up in his own end. He finds Morgan down ice, who tips it to make sure there is no icing. Lambert goes in hard after it, and he gets shoved up against the boards. Morgan in front of the net. He was trying to find Brendan Warren, and I think we're going to have a penalty called on Michigan.
That was a beautiful pass by Luke Morgan over to Brendan Warren, but unfortunately Warren just couldn't put it in the back of the net for the Wolverines.
Warren unable to score on that opportunity, and then he was pushing his defender down, and they're going to get him for, I believe, interference. We'll see the official call. So Michigan will go on the penalty kill, and here's an opportunity for the Saints.
Yeah, Brendan Warren does lead this Michigan team in penalties, so he's got to look to decrease that number as the season goes on, because the Wolverines can't afford to have him off the ice for an elongated period of time. And as well, the St. Lawrence Saints are just knocking on the door right now, so this power play is a very good opportunity for them to put in their first goal.
And it's another opportunity for Michigan's penalty kill to get some action. They haven't been great this year, but it's a small sample size. Last year, it was the Achilles heel of the team. Consistently one of the worst penalty kills in the NCAA. They worked hard in the offseason to try to right that. We have to see as the season goes on if they have made the necessary changes. They killed off the only penalty last night. We'll see if they can continue that.
Their penalty kill has been decent so far this season, with their opponents having a conversion percent of 286. So it's definitely a step in the right direction from last year, but they have to look to decrease that number as well.
Norris kicked out of the faceoff dot and won back by the Saints. Doing a little passing between each other, and then Stevens lost it off his stick, and St. Lawrence will have to go back into the neutral zone. The only time that we really saw the Wolverines on the penalty kill last night, just that one opportunity for the Saints, and actually it produced more Michigan scoring opportunities than St. Lawrence. Michigan had two good shorthanded tries on that one. We'll see if they can generate that here. Stevens holds it at the point, gives it across to Elfberg. He takes a shot high and over top of man. It rims around. Can Stevens hold it in? Yes, he can. He pinches in just enough to trap it against the boards right in front of the blue line. There's a quick drive and right into the pads of Mann, and he hangs on for a whistle.
Strauss Mann has looked good so far in this game. He's staying calm, not too frantic on his saves, and I think that's what's going to be the eventual difference maker for the Wolverines, is Mann's ability to stop the puck.
Been asked to do a whole lot, which is always a goalie's hope. Norris and Van Wy are out there. Looked like Jack Randall had gotten on the ice and expected to come in, but they sent him back to the bench. So cobbling a grinder with a top line player, and Norris wins the draw. Van Wy's got it, and he promptly clears it on down. 1:10 remaining in the power play. 4 to go here in the first period. Our score, Michigan 2, St. Lawrence nothing. Bristow brings it just past the midline, and that's when he rifles it on in as they're trying to play a little dump and chase. Saints first to it in the offensive end, but Michigan quickly vacuums up the puck, and then a nice clear there from Summers.
Michigan's done a great job of clearing the puck thus far on the penalty kill.
40 seconds remaining. Hansen again gets past the midline and then dumps it in, but Luke Martin is quick to get there. Summers along there next to him. Goes into the corner. Jack Randall tries to dig it out. He's been subbed in as a forward with Van Wy. And now there's a three-man pile. Southers was trying to dig it out, but getting to it is Randall. Hands it off to Summers, trying to dig it out, and then now they push it into the neutral zone. 15 seconds remaining on the power play. About 3 minutes to go in the period. Keenan Southers turns with it. He finds the defenseman Hansen, who attempted to find Risto, gave it away for a second, regained, and then dumped deep. 0 seconds remaining on the penalty kill, and out of the box is Brendan Warren. They quickly find him, as Michigan is now back to full strength. 5 skaters out there. Summers holds the puck in his own defensive end. Still just 4 shots in the period for the Saints compared to 12 for the Wolverines. Sent down into the Michigan end, and then that one is just hacked at from a bad angle by Ted McGee into the glove of Strauss-Mann for a whistle. 2:27 to go in the first.
That's a huge penalty kill for the Michigan Wolverines. As you said, that was their Achilles heel last season and what caused them to lose a lot of games. And the fact that they've just gotten through their first penalty kill of the game is always a good sign, and we'll see how they continue to deal with that down the stretch.
Face off to the left of Hayden Levine. Cusinado gets kicked out, and so Ryan Garvey has to take the draw. And Luke Morgan is able to win it for the Wolverines, but a bad giveaway by Lambert in his own end allows St. Lawrence to keep it in. Blankenberg sends it along the boards, and then a quick opportunity and a nice shot there by Cusinado, pushed aside by Mann. A point-blank opportunity for the Saints. Boca digs it out, but finally some extended pressure perhaps from the Saints. Cusinado picks it up, puts it along the boards. White takes a shot, and it gets tipped up into the air. Does not hit the netting. It comes right back down and bounces on the ice. And then that one is rifled high up into the air, trying to clear it down. Let's see if it's an icing. And they're going to wave icing off. 1:40 remaining in the first period. Skating out with it is Jake Stevens. Across the blue line, in on the rush. Leaves it behind for his attacker, Caden Pickering. Unable to really create an opportunity, and Michael Pastrov takes it away. A nice behind-the-back pass to Quinn Hughes, who skates up with it. Hughes using that speed around the right side. He's going so quickly behind the net, turning around with it, and then trying to do a give-and-go to himself, but rejected by the Saints. Bo Hansen brings it up, but a nice back check by Michael Pastrov, and then a shot, and a good save there.
And that last offensive possession is an example of what you said of Quinn Hughes trying to do too much. He had a man wide open to pass to, but instead tried to do a give-and-go to himself. The Wolverines would have been much better off if Hughes had just passed that puck. The Wolverines have also made a sloppy turnovers right at the blue line of their zone, so they need to cut down on those as the game continues.
1:08 remaining here in the first period. Shots 12-6 in favor of the Wolverines, and then trying to take a quick shot off the draw was Gisevich, but it was blocked. 1 minute to go in the first period. Still in the Michigan end, where Saccone grabs it. Now he leads the rush the other direction. Lockwood skating out quickly with it. Michigan in onside. Lockwood leaves it behind for Hughes, who's on the red line behind the net. Now passes it to Lockwood. A shot high and rising. Knocked aside by Bray in the corner. Saccone gets it to Lockwood at the top. Lockwood flips it up in the air, now taken away right out of the air. Trying to get a break is Garvey, but Hughes is getting back with it, and then a great play by Jake Slaker going down on his knees to knock aside a centering pass that could have been a goal-scoring opportunity. Both Hughes and Slaker had to get back as Michigan had all 5 guys up. A good job of back-checking as the final seconds are ticking away. 15 to go here in period 1. A long stretch pass looking for Randall. Olmsted chips it on in. Up against the boards is Cameron White. There's 4 players trying to dig it out of the corner to the side of Bray. 2 seconds, 1, and that will end the first period of action. Our score, Michigan 2, St. Lawrence none. A busy first period for the Wolverines. They take 13 shots and get 2 goals, including 1 on the power play. St. Lawrence takes just 6 shots, no goals, 0 for 1 on the power play. Any last thoughts on that first period?
I thought that was an incredible play by Jake Slaker at the end of the period. I think the Saints would definitely have one on the board if not for that, and those are the type of plays that win you games, and that's why he's got a letter on his jersey.
Yeah, it was a in about 15 minutes.